Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. The return of Keith One-Time Thurman may come in August. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Shout out to ESPN. Link is in the description. Their sources have stated that Keith Thurman may come back at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, August 4th. No named opponent. This is not 100% guaranteed. This is still in the rumor phase. But according to their sources, they have a bird in the ear who mentioned that to them. Now, Keith Thurman, this is just me talking, me speculating. Keith Thurman will likely not come back against the highest of tier opponents. The reason I say that is because he was supposed to come back on May 19th, and he told you guys in the interviews leading up to that, they did this big Showtime reveal in January where they announced all these fights. It was supposed to be Bronner Figueroa, which later got canceled because Figueroa got injured, and that fight was replaced with Jesse Vargas, which may have resulted into a rematch. And they announced all these fights that were coming up and happening and whatnot. Keith Thurman was there, and he was supposed to fight May 19th. Same night as Badu Jack Adonis Stevenson. It was supposed to be this big split fight. They ended up replacing it with Gary Russell Jr. versus Joseph Jojo Diaz, which was a good fight, but a lot of people were anticipating the return of Keith Thurman as well. Keith Thurman hadn't fought since March, where he defeated Danny Garcia and unified, took Danny Garcia's WBC belt, was the WBC and WBA champion. However, he relinquished that belt because he was unable to fight on that May date. Keep in mind, Keith Thurman, last year, people were talking about his surgery, injury, recovery. They were saying he would be back January through April. Then it turned out to be May. Then we start getting close to May. Keith Thurman doesn't have a named opponent. No one's heard who he's supposed to fight. If anything, you heard more about who he wasn't going to fight. He says, I am not going to fight Errol Spence this year. He even said, not going to happen, baby. 2018, you're not going to see it. Straight up. It's on tape. Said you're not going to see that fight. He says he's not coming back with a Danny Garcia or a Sean Porter rematch, right? He says, in fact, it's not even going to be a top 10 guy because I got to work my way back. He says this is his get back year, this is some get back year if your first fight in this get back year is not until August and you had basically coming off an injury and then you get a separate injury that cancels your May fight too. Like, it's just crazy. It's like some Derrick Rose shit. Like, wow, this guy keeps getting injured. So we never knew who he's gonna fight, just like we don't know who he's gonna fight now. I want to see Keith Thurman come back. He's an exciting fighter. He has one less belt, but the WBC did say that Danny Garcia is going to fight Sean Porter probably in August too, but later in the month, maybe early September. They have agreed, so that's a great fight, and they're going to be fighting. That has to be sad. Keith Thurman fighting at the beginning of the top of the month in the Barclays, and then Danny Garcia and Sean Porter fighting for your old belt that you had to get rid of later in the month. But on the positive side for Keith Thurman, WBC did state that he's the champion in recess, and until he basically gets his shit together health-wise, then he could fight one of them, the winner of Garcia Porter, for the belt and try to get it again. And to my knowledge, he is still currently the WBA champion, but still it's a setback because you had already acquired that belt when you beat Danny Garcia. So August 4th is the date that ESPN says they have heard he is coming back. I want to see him come back. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully there's no more delays. And hopefully it's at least a decent opponent. I've covered several fights at the Barclays. Shout out to the Barclays Center. Shout out to Brooklyn Boxing. It's always a great time. So hopefully it's somebody of note. Just something like decent. I can't tell you, but I would say even if you're not going to fight Errol Spence, which he already said beforehand, before this additional injury this year, he said he wasn't fighting Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. You can't fight because they're fighting at the end of the month, and you're not going to fight Errol Spence. So hopefully he still fights somebody reasonable, like the guy that just knocked out Diego Chavez, Jamal James, something like that, right? I don't know who else. I don't know if Tim Bradley wants to come out of retirement, but just give us something. You know what I mean? But we'll have to wait to see because he's coming off an injury, and this is not even confirmed. And Keith Thurman has been MIA in terms of social media. He hasn't really been posting stuff. I have some sources, and they said he was in like Tokyo or something recently. So it sounds like he's just a traveling man. He's a married man now. The pressure is going to be on to see who he chooses, to see if he comes back healthy, to see if he looks like the same fighter that we've all grown to love and like watching. And then if he is triumphant, people are going to want to see him fight at least the Garcia Porter winner, but definitely Errol Spence, who's been gunning for him for quite some time. But first, he has to make it into the ring, you know what I mean? And the way things are going, we just have to wait and see, because like I said, he was supposed to come back, I think even last year, at the end of last year, like December. And then they said it would be January, February, March-ish. And then it wasn't that. Then he was supposed to come back in May. You know what I mean? So it's been a long uphill battle. So if he doesn't come back until August, that means he's been out of the ring for like 17 months, which is pretty long. That's almost 2 years. You know what I mean? 1.5 years or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see with Keith Thurman. You don't really know as of late. He's been injury prone. Let me know who you want to see him come back and fight. I don't know, because Brandon Rios just got knocked out, so I don't want to see something like that. I'd have to look at the top 15 to see who all is there, because we already, like I said, we already know certain guys he already ruled out. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.